Sensible, hardworking, and by the book, ISTJs innately believe that the world is the way that it is for a very good reason. Even though they may never know what that reason is, ISTJs are usually content to maintain the status quo and to not rock the boat. They prefer hard facts to theories and are both meticulous and methodical with a high degree of respect for detail.
The girl obviously died of something. If it was natural causes, it's plausible that there was something missed in the post-mortem. If she was murdered, it's plausible there was a sloppy investigation. What I find fantastic is any notion that there are answers beyond the realm of science. The answers are there. You just have to know where to look.
Like all the videos in this series, I aim to get you inside your character's head in order to assist you in portraying fictional characters that feel real, identifiable, and organic by outlining each of the 16 Jungian personality archetypes. However, this will only give you an outline, and a personality type does not a character make. Hopefully by the end of this video you will better understand how the ISTJ processes and values information and how this affects their behavior, decision-making, and communication style, so that you can then add motivations, backstory, interests, relationships, and likely personality quirks to result in a more organically complete character that your audience will connect with. I'll give you the outline, and then you can fill it in. If your ISTJ character had a favorite saying, it would probably be, if it's not broke, don't fix it, do what you can with what you have, or all that has happened before will happen again. ISTJs have exceptionally strong memories and see patterns easily. They have a knack for predicting how overarching events will play out because they have spent significant time studying the patterns of the past and can see how those patterns are reflected in the present. They find no comfort in this ability, however, because they have a deep insecurity about what could happen next and are very pessimistic about the future in general.
Zoe?
Armor's dented.
Well, you're right about this being a bad idea.
Thanks for saying, sir.
ISTJs often envision other people and the world as a whole as some kind of unpredictable ocean of whim, chaos, and randomness. Since they value facts over theory and they cannot prove their theories about the future correct with actual facts, and because their predictions are often overreaching and not something they themselves are capable of altering or preparing for, ISTJs tend to minimize the value of their own predictions. While others can find their insights profound, the ISTJ is likely to find them dull if they are unable to do anything to change them.
T-Rex doesn't want to be fat, he wants to hunt. Can't just suppress 65 million years of gut instinct.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat, and 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Imagine what you'll know tomorrow.
Because they have an inherent distrust about the future, ISTJs value stability and reliability and seek out people, things, and routines that can weather the storm. They place a high value on things like credentials, degrees, and reputations, be it their own or others, and are individuals who always make sure to dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
I'm assigned to the Farragut?
It was an attempt to avoid the appearance of favoritism.
No, I'm assigned to the Enterprise.
Yes, I believe you are.
Thank you.
They are far more inclined to rely on tried and true methods rather than try and solve problems creatively. Why spend the time and energy to reinvent the wheel when the schematics are open source and you already know that they work? ISTJs are not individuals prone to taking risks and spend a great deal of time testing and analyzing anything and anyone new in their lives to determine if it is dependable and safe. But once the decision is made, they remain confident and loyal to these people or ideas.
Prim! Prim! I volunteer! I volunteer! I volunteer as tribute!
My good opinion, once lost, is lost forever.
They can come across as overly rigid and almost robotic to others. ISTJs have difficulty in expressing their emotions, so this particular combination of being reluctant to take on new loyalties and responsibilities, combined with their sudden turnabouts and willingness to invest and commit to others, either romantically or platonically, can come across to others as having an almost inhuman level of control over their own emotions. Obviously, this mechanoid image of the ISTJ is inaccurate.
Tell me you're not afraid.
All right, I'm afraid. But it's an irrational fear.
ISTJs are very good at figuring out what they need and have high and often very specific standards in mind.
But this kid ran down a cephalopoid. On foot, boss. That's got to be tough enough.
The word is indeed applied too liberally. I cannot boast of knowing more than half a dozen women in all my acquaintance that are truly accomplished.
Nor I, to be sure. Goodness, you must comprehend a great deal in the idea.
I do.
So once an individual thing or idea passes their inspection and they decide to accept them, this thing or person becomes deeply valuable to them, because it's a rare thing in the ISTJ's world to find that thing which meets their standards. And when it happens, they understand its worth and importance. Immediately following this passing of the test, their commitment evolves from a logically detached decision to a deep sentimental connection that only grows the more time they remain committed to the person or the idea. This emotional attachment and devotion is rarely shown outwardly, but is deeply felt.
Oathkeeper.
In this way, they are quite dutiful and are not individuals prone to abandoning their loyalties in a moment of crisis or uncertainty. They have tested this thing or idea and they know it will survive, so they're going to remain loyal to it and will not doubt its strength.
Why were you with him last night?
He called me. He said I was the only one who'd believe him. About an artifact.
You're a liar.
What comes off to others as rigid and overly controlling is the very trait that allows the ISTJ, when others panic, to remain calm and create order out of chaos. They have absolute confidence in whatever it is they have confidence in. So the ISTJ is always aware of where their island of safety is on that ocean of whim and randomness, and they can proceed to work out from there.
Don't move. Can't see us if we don't move.
Where others boast about changing the world, it's the ISTJ who performs the tireless and thankless task of maintaining it in the first place.
Well, look at this! Appears we got here just in the nick of time. What does that make us?
Big damn heroes, sir.
Ain't we just?
ISTJs favor a direct style of communication while preferring a more informative style from others. Their speech patterns will show an economy of words in general and a truncated style of getting to the point in particular.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take it away!
Y no hablas ni una palabra del español.
Let's hear it. Give me the details.
I'm thinking Whitefall, maybe talk to Patience.
Sir, we don't want to deal with Patience again.
Why not?
She shot you.
Well, yeah, she did a bit, still.
So we find somebody else.
ISTJs are traditionalists who try very hard to fit in with the larger group, but they have a rather large blind spot for and lack any instinctive grace or fluency when it comes to the nuances of social interaction. While many other direct types favor bluntness and do not care too much about others' emotions or sensibilities, The ISTJ has a profound respect for manners, etiquette, propriety, and social niceties. Despite a driving need to speak their mind, they will always aim for tact, but will usually land on awkward.
You didn't answer my question.
Oh, you don't answer any of mine, so... I mean, you don't even say hi to me.
Hi.
But I could serve you, if you would have me. You have courage. Not battle courage, perhaps, but... I don't know... a woman's kind of courage.
I am aware that James Kirk is a friend of yours. I recognize that supporting me as you did must have been difficult.
Is that a thank you?
I am simply acknowledging your difficulties.
We would be honored if you would join us.
ISTJs, while they are very good at figuring out what other people are thinking, are not very good at figuring out what other people are feeling. This can lead to a lot of internal turmoil for the ISTJ as they continually try to fit in with others, only to continually fail again and again. Over time and through much trial and error, the healthy ISTJ eventually learns how to follow the social norms of their group, but this is something they must learn.
I do not have the talent of conversing easily with people I have never met before.
Perhaps you should take your aunt's advice and practice.
Apologies, Your Grace. I never did master the curtsy.
Listen, Kirk, I'm promoting you to first officer.
What? Captain, please, I apologize. The complexities of human pranks escape me.
In the meantime, they will study the people around them and compile mental lists of facts as their way of getting to know them.
I like watching you sleep. It's kind of fascinating to me.
While other personality types can intuitively get a handle on how a given person will react to a situation, ISTJs use their mental lists to make an educated guess based on observed data points. ISTJs take a great deal of pride in what they see as clever and purely objective extrapolation, but it can lead to drama in the ISTJ's life when they misread an individual or a situation through their typically cynical lens.
What the hell was that? You don't talk to me and then you say you have a crush on me? You just say you want to train alone? Is that how you want to play?
Stop
huh?
it! Stop it!
Let's start right now.
Hey. He did you a favor.
He made me look weak.
He made you look desirable.
When the ISTJ comes across a more informative individual who is always forthcoming about what they want to do and what their intentions are, this will usually result in an interest or at least an initial level of comfort with that individual, because the ISTJ doesn't have to work so hard to have an idea of what's going on and has a better chance of advising that individual away from actions that the ISTJ foresees as likely to cause problems.
Throw that metal thing over there.
What? No. Hamish said we're not supposed to show our skills.
I don't care what Hamish said. Those guys are looking at you like you're a meal. Throw it.
I heard that there was this meteor hit the Earth someplace down in Mexico and made this big crater.
Listen,
Tim.
Tim, which car were you planning on?
Whichever one you are. Then I heard about this thing in Omni, about this meteor making all this heat, and it made a bunch of diamond dust. And
This brings us to the greatest insecurity of the ISTJ, that they will somehow overstep their bounds, do or say the wrong thing, or not do or say the right thing, and ultimately drive those they care for the most away. When they realize they have made a mistake that has impacted others negatively, they feel a deep remorse that is difficult for them to express. They will not show their regret outwardly, but will work exceptionally hard to correct the error and to set things right.
I'm sorry I'm always snapping at you.
If you didn't snap at me, I wouldn't learn anything.
You want to be a night pod?
Yes.
Starting tomorrow, we'll train with the sword twice a day. before we ride in the morning and after we make camp in the evening. And I'm going to show you how to ride properly.
Thank you.
I can't knight you, but I can teach you how to fight.
I suppose that's more important.
This will often manifest as an over-concern with their own reputation. It is at the core of the ISTJ belief system that if something can stand the test of time and is worthwhile, then it will have a proven track record of excellence. How can anything be valued if it is not respected? This belief extends to individuals and, in particular, to themselves. ISTJs hold themselves to a very high standard and are exceptionally protective of their reputations. They will jump through any hoop and go to any length to repair it, believing that doing so will repair any emotional or personal conflict they have caused.
I was under the impression that you were sent to spy on me.
If you have any doubt about my qualifications or credentials...
You're a medical doctor. You teach at the academy.
I shall not renew the sentiments which were so disgusting to you. But if I may, I will address the 2 offenses you have laid against me.
ISTJs, once they make the decision that they want an individual in their lives, will become deeply committed to the relationship, be that relationship platonic, romantic, professional, or familial, and will want to do whatever is necessary to make it work. However, their lack of intuitive social instincts and this deep insecurity about driving others away makes the ISTJ prone to sending mixed signals to those they care about. ISTJs show affection by finding ways to incorporate themselves into their loved ones' lives in a way that is both meaningful and practical. You can expect many acts of service, both small and large, that are delivered quietly but often awkwardly. They are often seen as running either hot or cold, being communicative and open one day in order to foster a closer relationship, and then because they want to show respect to the other person and not be too demanding of their valuable time, or to be too obvious about their affections in fear of driving them away, they'll then step back and give the other space.
Bella, we shouldn't be friends.
This pattern can come across as being given the cold shoulder for no reason, and when ISTJs do communicate their feelings, they are often obtusely direct and have poor timing.
I don't understand.
I love you.
Despite their social clumsiness, the ISTJ's efforts are both sincere and well-meaning, but are often misinterpreted by others. Because of this, the mature ISTJ will typically have a few failed relationships or friendships where the other person just drifted away despite the ISTJ's best efforts. The loss will be handled quietly by the ISTJ, but will be felt deeply, and they will often carry it for years, if not for the rest of their lives. The ISTJ humor is cynically playful, but exceptionally dry, to the point where if you are not tuned in to this particular style of humor, you may not be able to tell if the ISTJ is telling a joke or is actually being serious.
That's not funny. That was great.
I say walk, you walk. Yeah, but where are we going? You must be new. Don't get comfortable. Your type doesn't last long here. When your supervisor hears about the rude and disrespect...
Claire.
You were saying?
It will usually revolve around trumped-up instances of meticulous nitpickiness.
You gotta give me some answers.
Yes, no. To get to the other side.
Katniss, the way the whole friend thing works is you have to tell each other the deep stuff.
The deep stuff?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, like what?
Like, What's your favorite color?
Well, now you've stepped over the line.
Good morning.
Whatever tape you found on that VCR, it isn't mine.
Good, because I put it back in that drawer with all those other videos that aren't yours.
Letters of business, too. How odious I should think them.
It is fortunate, then, that they fall to my lot instead of yours.
Do tell your sister that I long to see her.
I've already told her once my desire.
I do dote on her.
Perhaps you will give me leave to defer your raptures till I write again. At present, I have not room enough to do them justice.
Or sarcastic disdain in the face of nonsensical proposals.
My God, man, you could at least act like it was a hard decision.
I intend to assist in the effort to re-establish communication with Starfleet. However, if crew morale is better served by my roaming the halls weeping, I will gladly defer to your medical expertise.
I see. The dark Gothic manor, the omnipresent low fog hugging the thicket of overgrowth. Wait. Is that a hound I hear baying out in the moors?
But before y'all get to beaming me up, it's a couple things I want you to understand. First off, you chose me. So you recognize the skills. And I don't want nobody calling me son or kid or sport or nothing like that, cool?
Cool, whatever you say, Slick, but I need to tell you something about all your skills.
As of right now, they mean precisely dick.
ISTJ problem solving typically revolves around what has worked in the past and what the proven method of solving the problem is. Things are probably the way they are for a good reason, and thus conventional methods are the safest and best bet.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Things like one-size-fits-all protocols and standard operating procedures are very comforting to the ISTJ, who always wants to know what is expected of them and wants to follow tried-and-true methods with guaranteed results. When stressed, ISTJs are likely to become consumed with intangible what-if thoughts, questions, and concerns, and particularly when dealing with others who want to shake things up, or who value new and innovative approaches to old problems, the ISTJ's disapproval will usually have a distinct note of disdain to it.
Thank you for your consideration.
At least with the old ways, you've got a pretty good idea of what can go wrong, and you can prepare for that. But to try out something new is basically unleashing a loose cannon on an otherwise tidy routine. And that's just dumb.
Now we have a boat full of citizens right on top of our stolen cargo. That's a fun mix.
Ain't no way in the verse they could find that compartment, even if they were looking for it.
Why not?
Because?
Oh yeah, this is gonna go great.
This reluctance to try out new ways of doing things may manifest as an anxiety about having to change routines, but it's more likely to manifest as normalcy bias, where they will stubbornly stick to their sense of values or preset perception of a situation, even when doing so makes little sense. This results in notably slow reaction times to changing situations.
We must gather with the rest of Starfleet to balance the terms of the next engagement.
There won't be a next engagement. By the time we've gathered, it'll be too late.
I could be like you right now.
You don't know what you're saying. You don't want this.
I want you.
It's a dinosaur.
ISTJs are exceptionally detail-oriented in general and have the odd habit of becoming overly focused on some small minutia.
How fast are they?
While losing sight of the larger picture.
They're moving in herds. They do move in herds.
I should have just eaten the berries in the arena and died like I was supposed to. Then everything would be back to normal and everyone would be safe.
Safe for what? To starve? Work like slaves? Send their kids to the reaping?
We get this tear up the rule book on cold-bloodedness. It doesn't apply. They're totally wrong. This is a warm-bodied creature.
This can manifest in unhealthy levels, such as failure to launch or simply failure to grow into new opportunities, relationships, and new stages of life. The ISTJ villain will be driven by an absolute certainty that they know the best way for things to get done, and in order for those things to get done correctly, everyone else must be made to submit.
I'm here to put you back on schedule.
I assure you, Lord Vader, my men are working as fast as they can.
Perhaps I can find new ways to motivate them.
You can't tune out again. No, you can't. Not like when Dad died. I won't be there anymore. You're all she has. No matter what you feel, you have to be there for her. Do you understand? Don't cry.
Objectivity is a favorite word of the ISTJ, and they continually strive to seek out verifiable, proven references and ways of doing things so they can always present the most objective and rational proposals, systems, and routines to solving problems. The immature or unhealthy ISTJ may perceive most of the people around them as simply moving parts in a larger pattern, with those people's individuality defined by their function in the larger machine. These unhealthy ISTJs may have trouble intuitively understanding that every person around them is a layered and nuanced individual, and may be taken aback when they learn of a new hobby, skill, or personality trait that does not fit in with their preconceived notions of how this person functions in the larger pattern. The unhealthy or villainous ISTJ will take this to extremes and prioritize what they see as objective truth over the individual's agency or choice. In other words, for their own good. They may seek to micromanage and remove any aspect of the individuals around them that do not conform to or benefit the larger group whole, including trying to squash any adaptation to changing situations that the ISTJ's normalcy bias has ignored.
What are you doing with them?
You in a syringe against the Capitol. See, this is why no one lets you make the plans.
What the hell are you doing?
And the bulk of their crimes will be against their own group or their own family.
You have failed me for the last time, Admiral.
You scared me.
You going down the reservation?
Hey, did you do this to my truck?
Bella, you have to understand. Your safety is everything to me.
Alternatively, spurred ISTJs may show antagonistic qualities in a more passive-aggressive way.
And do you love him?
I don't see how that's relevant.
Well, he is your husband.
Yes.
If the ISTJ has tried to warn an individual about likely problems that the ISTJ sees coming, but the other person ignored these warnings, they will consciously adjust their advice towards that individual in a way that conforms to what they want to hear, while making sure that advice is designed to ultimately lead to the other's downfall.
Wait a minute, I'm talking to you. You know how many of your kind I've swatted with a newspaper? You're nothing but a smear on the sports page to me, you slimy, gut-sucking, intestinal parasite. Eat me! Eat me!
Thank you for watching, and I hope you have found this video valuable. I've moved this series and will be posting them as I'm able to complete the videos. So if there is a personality type you'd like to see, let me know in the comments and I'll try to move it up. After we get through all 16 archetypes, I'll be posting a few videos on how to determine which personality type would work best for your story, based on the type of story you are telling and what you need that particular character to do within the story. So hit the subscribe button if that's something you would like to see. Until then, thank you again and have a great day.